story published in the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime on July 28, 2011 introduces us to 15-year-old Maria, who would regularly sell bread on the side of the road to make some extra money for herself and her family. While selling bread, she developed a friendship with a 35-year-old woman named Sophia, who made her an offer she couldn't resist of a better job and some more money. So she ended up leaving with this woman, leaving her family behind, and ended up forced into servitude and prostitution. And she was drugged. This happens far too often for this issue to keep being overlooked. As students, we forget how privileged we are to have the opportunity for higher education, whereas in other countries, people struggle to find the means by which to obtain any education at all. Today, I hope to persuade you to act on behalf of those who cannot act for themselves and take a stand to battle the evils of human trafficking. According to the Tribune Business News, July 17, 2011, a 2008 United Nations report estimated that about 2.5 million people have been trafficked worldwide. Furthermore, on December 4, 2007, ABC7News.com stated that California is a top destination for human trafficking, with approximately 80% of the victims being women and girls and up to 50% being minors. In order to help prosecute those that participate in human trafficking and to help victims, we will first examine modern-day slavery. Second, we'll examine the roots of this evil. And finally, I will motivate you to take a stand against human trafficking. First, we will look at what is now known as modern-day slavery. Slavery was abolished with the 13th Amendment, but has manifested itself in present day, and is now emerging through government officials. CQ researcher March 26, 2004 reported that foreign diplomats accounted for the use of 3,800 domestic servants brought in on work visas, which the program is overlooked because they are said to be trustworthy and they aren't going to follow the rules. They are forced to work for little or no pay, and if they try to escape, their family back home is threatened. Also, people from poor families oftentimes sell their children to earn extra money. The UN Chronicle, Volume 47, 2010, pointed out that over a third of the world's chocolate comes from plants where forced child labor is used. These children are confined in small, little rooms. They are forced to sleep on wooden planks. They are malnourished. Their nutrition consists of eating banana peels and the cocoa beans that they oftentimes have to steal to maintain food in their systems. So next time you unwrap that piece of chocolate, think of the suffering children. On February 9, 2006, ABCNews.com informed us that trafficking is a lot closer than we think. It tells us about two stories of two teenage girls in Phoenix, Arizona. One of them was trafficked from her own home. She was out in the front yard while her mother was inside, and she was taken from her driveway. The other one was taken from the mall. She was coerced into thinking that she could become a model and was approached by someone where they took her and then forced her into a life of prostitution. Now that you know about the modern-day slavery that's going on, I will tell you about the roots of this problem. Current financial situations lead people to seek cheaper labor alternatives. Facts on File News Service, November 17, 2008, determined that people fall victims to traffickers because of money, and it's broken down basically into source and destination countries. A source country is mostly the poorer countries that find any way to make more money, and therefore they kidnap children, women are kidnapped. And then destination countries, United States is actually a destination country. They bring people here to work for wages that other people will not work, for lower wages. Human trafficking in California, the final report in October 2007, said that it took the transatlantic trade 400 years to import 12 million African slaves, whereas it only took 10 years to traffic over 30 million women and children. Now that you know about modern-day slavery and its roots, I will tell you about how to take a stand and combat against the evils that is human trafficking. One of the ways that the United States is combating against human trafficking is it's implemented this map here, and there's basically 3 tiers. And the first tier saying that they're semi-complying with the Trafficking Victims Protection Act. The second one is that they're on their way to complying with the act. And the third tier is that they're not even bothering to comply at all. So that's what this map is here. Another way which we could combat the evils of human trafficking is to boycott the chocolate. As you see here, this child, the bale of cocoa beans is almost as big as he is. He's forced to carry that. They're forced to work about 12 to 16-hour days. No food, kept in confined spaces. They're locked up at night. And then it could happen to anyone. It could be our mothers, our sisters, our aunts, girlfriends, anybody. Another way to combat human trafficking is to report any suspicious activities. Be aware of what's going on in your neighborhood. If you see anything suspicious, there's a trafficking hotline you can report to any suspicious activities. Also, we can do awareness through education. In our public schools, we can implement talking to our children about human trafficking and how it's going on. That way they can be more aware of it and their surroundings and be more careful when they go out and stuff with their friends. Another thing I found interesting is when I was doing research, I actually listened to a conference online on human trafficking online. There's this website, Ibarra.3gp, has a lot of great info on human trafficking. They actually had a conference I was listening to while I was studying with a friend, and she actually mentioned to me that her church next week is going to have some kind of conference on human trafficking as well. So get involved, maybe have a club at school, get involved with your church, and maybe make people aware of this issue that's going on around us. An easier thing we can all do today is go on Facebook. I know most of us have Facebook. There's a page called Blue Heart Campaign. You can all go on there, like it, and then there's status updates. You'll always be informed on types of trafficking and stuff that's going on, legislations and stuff that's going on to help prevent this tragedy. Now that you're aware of modern-day slavery, its roots, and how to take a stand against it, as college students, we should all take the initiative and spread awareness. The ratification of the 13th Amendment was made possible years ago. Now let's take a stand and help abolish human trafficking, today's modern-day slavery.